While the Indian economy has grown leaps and bounds in last few decades, there is one problem that is not yet resolved. And for India to grow in a sustainable manner, it has to resolve this problem. It's the problem of water crisis. I'm sure majority of you watching this video are privileged enough to have access to clean and unlimited water for drinking as well as for other usage. But there are millions of people out there that are still struggling to get access to clean water. And no matter how much we focus on development, if we can't resolve this basic problem of water management, it can create a big crisis. And there's no better example than what is happening in India's own Silicon Valley, Bangalore, that is already going through a major water crisis. And this water crisis is not only limited to Bangalore, but in entire Karnataka and the adjoining area of Telangana and Maharashtra. This is the case with every part of the country. In fact, Punjab, which is the land of 5 rivers, is facing an unprecedented clean water crisis. On the other hand, India's most sacred rivers, including Yamuna and Ganga, are the most polluted rivers. Even though the Indian government acknowledges this fact and has allocated 1 lakh crore in FY24 interim budget for water treatment and related infrastructure project. On top of this, there is a rising demand for industrial water that has created huge business opportunity in the water treatment sector. Hey everyone, my name is Sahil and this is my Personal Finance Academy. Water crisis in India is a major issue, and if not addressed seriously, it can have serious consequences. I was going through some report that mentioned that India has around 16% of total global population but only 4% of water resources. Out of its population of 1.4 billion people, 35 million people lack access to safe water and 678 million people lack access to safe toilet. Considering the rapid urbanization and industrialization, water treatment has to be prioritized to live a sustainable life. Now, historically, wastewater treatment was a fragmented industry with hundreds of small players running their small water treatment plants and working with municipalities. However, there's a migration to new technologies and professional operation that has created a big market for organized players in this space. So in this video, I've tried to identify the key challenges with water management in India and opportunity for organized players for both near-term and long-term. In fact, the long-term opportunities are very exciting because there are 2 multi-decade growth themes in India, including semiconductor industry and green hydrogen, and both of them require water. So we'll try to understand the entire landscape, and then I've identified top players in this water management segment. Alright, let's get started. Today, the biggest challenge is the availability of clean drinking water, especially in the rural areas. There are still millions of people in rural part of the country who don't have access to clean water at their homes. Not only that, many cities in India are already facing groundwater shortage, and this is getting worse day by day. On top of that, there is rising demand for water for industrial usage due to increasing manufacturing activities. Now, there are nearly 1,000 sewage treatment plants in India, but most of them are inefficient, run by municipalities that lacks quality standard. In fact, data suggests that nearly 70% of wastewater generated goes directly into rivers and lakes. So on one side, there is acute water shortage. On the other side, the main source of water, which is Indian rivers, are getting polluted heavily. That's where the Indian government has launched multiple projects with the goal to provide clean drinking water to every person in the country, and for that, it has to clean the rivers and build an infrastructure to transport that water to the last mile. The challenge is that even after years of investment in water treatment plants, today only 1/3 of total sewage generated is treated by the plants. On top of this, rising industrialization is generating a lot of toxic waste that again needs to be treated. All these challenges have created a big opportunity for leading organized players in India. So first biggest opportunity is the treatment of wastewater by installing sewage treatment plant. Although there are nearly 1,000 sewage treatment plants, there is still a need for more plants because they only cater to 1/3 of total sewage production. In 2022, Frost and Sullivan report estimate India's water and wastewater treatment market at $2.1 billion in 2025 compared to $1.3 billion in 2020, compounding at your 9.7% CAGR. According to Niti Aayog, the market for wastewater treatment plant worth 2.4 billion in 2019 is estimated at 4.3 billion by 2025. Indian government is running multiple projects including rejuvenation of water bodies, sewage treatment, cleaning Ganga river and so on. So that's the first big opportunity. This wastewater recycled from sewage treatment can be reused for horticulture, irrigation, washing activities, then firefighting, industrial cooling, toilet flush and gardening. Then second big opportunity is in water desalination segment. Although India has a long coastal line, it has not taken up desalination project to resolve the water crisis. So desalination is basically the process in which salt is removed from seawater. So there's a Southeast Asia's largest seawater desalination project under construction in Chennai by company Watec Wabek. This project is worth 4,400 crore and expected to be responsible for 70% of Chennai's water supply. Then third big immediate opportunity is in zero liquid discharge segment. It is basically to treat the industrial wastewater. Today, many industries have invested in zero liquid discharge, including your textile sector, pharma, chemical, and so on. So if I quickly summarize, at present there are three segments that present opportunity for water treatment, that includes sewage water treatment, water desalination projects, and third is zero liquid discharge segment for industries. However, in the long run, there are more bigger opportunities. Let's have a look. So there are two mega themes in India that has created opportunity for water recycling companies. First is semiconductor and second is green hydrogen. I'm sure you would be aware of government focus on growing the in-house electronics industry in India and reduce dependence on countries like China and Taiwan. However, to grow the electronics industry, government has to grow the semiconductor industry because semiconductors are the core of the electronic device. Currently, there is huge dependence on China and Taiwan for semiconductor as we don't have an ecosystem around it in India. That's where government has approved 76,000 crore worth of incentive for semiconductor sector in 2021 that has already attracted investment worth $15 billion. And this is just the beginning. Electronics are part of our digital life, and if we have to reduce dependence on import and become self-reliant, we would need a complete ecosystem around electronics manufacturing where semiconductor will play a crucial role. Now the question is, where do water companies fit into this semiconductor value chain? So basically water is used to wash semiconductor. But the catch is that semiconductor circuits are so small that even microscopic containment would damage chips. That's where you will need ultra pure water. And the process to manufacture this ultra pure water is not that simple. That's where companies specialized in water processing would come into picture. So this would be a big opportunity in the coming years. By the way, this ultra pure water is also needed in other sectors like pharma, food, beverage, etc. Second opportunity is in the green hydrogen sector. If you do a Google research, you will find that green hydrogen is going to be the fuel of the future. Not just for a few years, but for decades and probably centuries. So let's take a step back and first try to understand what is green hydrogen. So it is nothing but the production of hydrogen gas by breaking water into hydrogen and oxygen in an electrolyzer which is powered by renewable sources like solar, wind, etc. The word green is because power required to produce the hydrogen is from renewable source. This hydrogen is a clean fuel that does not release carbon dioxide and can be stored and utilized for providing power. Since we have abundant water, and here I'm also including your seawater, and water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. So if you can break water into hydrogen and oxygen, then hydrogen can be used as a fuel. However, breaking water into hydrogen and oxygen is a very power consuming process. And that's where renewable sources like solar and wind would generate that clean power to produce hydrogen, which is a clean fuel. Now obviously when green hydrogen is the fuel of the future, you would need water as a raw material. And it would be a huge requirement. But India already has water crisis. So getting that clean water for green hydrogen production would be challenging. That's where you would need companies that can treat wastewater or seawater and provide that clean water for green hydrogen. Although it will take some time. At this point, it is not viable. But again, 20 years ago, solar was also not viable. So companies are working on pilot projects to produce clean power water in an efficient manner that can be utilized for green hydrogen production. But down the line in the next few years, this can be a huge business opportunity for water companies. I hope you got a good idea on current challenges in water sector and key opportunities. Now let us look at top listed companies working in this wastewater treatment sector. So first top company is L&T. Yes, this infrastructure giant is also present in water treatment segment. So you name any infra related work and L&T would be there. So the screen shows the business segment of L&T that include infrastructure, energy, high-tech, IT, financial services, developmental projects, etc., where water is part of infrastructure project. While it might look like a small segment, water is actually 70% of L&T infrastructure book of 4 lakh crore that include wastewater treatment, irrigation and industrial infrastructure. And L&T is a major player in Indian water treatment space. Obviously, it's already a giant with market cap of 5.2 lakh crore rupees, P ratio of 41. So if you want exposure to India's infrastructure theme, L&T can be a great proxy in large cap space. And the best part is, L&T is number one company in its segment with no close second competitor. Then second company is Thermex. It offers solution to energy, environment and chemical sector. Company's portfolio include boilers and heaters, absorption chillers, heat pumps, then power plants, solar equipment, air pollution control equipment, water and wastewater recycle plant, ion exchange resin, performance chemical, and so on. So again, it is not a dedicated water treatment firm, but involved in multiple segments, but a leading player in water treatment space as well as zero liquid discharge segment. Over the last few years, Thermex's revenues and profits have grown at a fast rate, generating high cash flow from operation, although commands relatively lower ROE and ROC, but has comfortable leverage structure with debt to equity of 0.27. However, it commands a premium with a P ratio of 92, which is very high, and has got a market cap of 50,000 crore. If you look at the shareholding, company's promoter holds 62% stake, FIs have 12% stake, DIs have 15.8% stake, and public has only 4.6% stake. Clearly, company is in strong hand, although there is not much change in shareholding in the last few quarters. Then third company is Praj Industries. Although 70% of Praj business comes from bioenergy segment where it supplies equipment for ethanol production, a good 30% business is from high purity and engineering segment that include wastewater treatment and zero liquid discharge. Company has been growing consistently, generating good cash flow from operations, command a very high ROE and ROCE, and it's completely debt free. Currently, Praj command a market cap of 10,000 crore with a PE ratio of 35 and looking promising. If you look at the shareholding, company's promoter hold 32.8% stake, FIs have 17.3% stake, DIs have 13% and public has 36.7% stake. So public holding in the company is on higher side, but it has reduced significantly from highs of 44.5% and DIs have consistently added it in last few quarters. Now next company in my list is Wartech Wabag. So this company is specialized in water treatment that include design, supply, installation, construction and operational management of drinking water, wastewater treatment, industrial water treatment and desalination plant. Interestingly, Wabag is a 100-year-old company headquartered in Chennai with presence in more than 25 countries, more than 125 IP rights and successfully executed more than 6,500 plants. If you look at the financials, company's revenues has been pretty flat in last few years. Although margins have improved significantly, that resulted in decent growth in operating profit. Although net profits are down due to write-off of delayed receivables. By the way, company has got a good order book of nearly 12,000 crore that would be executed over the next 8 to 10 years. And currently company has got trailing 12-month revenue of 2,800 crore. So the order book is more than 4 times its sales. That gives a good visibility. Although ROE and ROC of the company are not the right parameter at this moment due to recent receivable write-off. Company shareholding shows promoter stake at 19%, which is quite low. FIs hold 13% stake that they have reduced in last few quarters, but DI's stake has increased and recently Quant Value Fund has added it in the portfolio. The concern is company's public holding, which is very high at the moment, but it also includes ace investor Rekha Jhunjhunwala, who is holding 8% stake for many years now without any change. That shows a strong conviction. At current level, company commands a market cap of around 4,750 crore with a P ratio of just 15.7. Next company is Ion Exchange. Again, a specialized company in water treatment with more than 60 years of existence with solution offering water treatment, wastewater treatment, recycling, zero liquid discharge, sewage treatment, packaged drinking water, seawater desalination and so on. Company has more than 40 patents. Financially, company's revenues are growing at excellent rate. Margins have expanded and net profits have grown 4 to 6 times in last 5-6 years. Also generating good cash from operation. Company is highly profitable at ROE and ROC level and negligible debt to equity of 0.11. Company's promoters hold 26.4% stake, FIs have 5.2% stake that has increased in last few quarters, DIs have around 12% stake and remaining 40% is with public. Again, public holding has reduced in last few quarters, which is a good sign. At current level, company commands a market cap of 7,500 crore with a P ratio of 36. Now, final company in my list is EMS Limited. It is also a specialized company in water and wastewater collection, treatment and disposal. Company's revenues have grown at a healthy rate. Interestingly, company command a much higher margin profile. But since we don't have much historical data, it would be interesting to see if company can maintain such margin. On quarterly basis, company's margins have declined. In FY23, company's cash from operation was negative. Although profitability is quite good. Company has negligible debt to equity. Shareholding wise, promoters have around 70% stake, FIs have 4% stake that has reduced from last quarter, DIs have not shown much interest in the company and public holding is around 25% that has increased from last quarter. At current level, company commands a market cap of 2,200 crore with a P ratio of 21. So in this video, we discussed the water crisis situation in India and the immediate opportunity it presents in the 3 segments that include sewage treatment, water desalination and zero liquid discharge. In the long run, semiconductor and green hydrogen present massive growth opportunity. We also looked at major players in water treatment segment that include L&T, Thermax, Praj Industry, and 3 dedicated water treatment companies, Water Quebec, Ion Exchange and EMS Limited. Before we close this video, I want to highlight one key risk. Majority of the current business is around sewage treatment that gets the order from the government. So a large chunk of business is with the government. Moreover, as we are in the election period, there is a slowdown in activity for next few months until the next government resume. That's the near-term perspective. As far as potential in semiconductor or green hydrogen is concerned, they are certainly multi-decade themes and can really benefit the water companies. However, it won't happen immediately. At least the green hydrogen space would take time to pick up as it is in nascent stage. But yes, the potential is huge. Now tell me in the comments, what do you think about the opportunity in water sector? Is it worth taking a bet? And which would be your preferred pick? If you find this video useful, do share it with your friends. I'll see you next video. Till then, take care.